Bow down to the new AI king, Flux. A few days ago, out of nowhere, Black Forest Labs unleashed a groundbreaking model called Flux. It's blowing every other model out of the water. Flux is an impressive 12 billion parameter model that can generate stunning images with incredible accuracy. Correct hands, near perfect text, photorealism, anime styles, you name it. It even outperforms Stable Diffusion 3 and any other model released so far. It's mind-blowing. What's even more surprising is that Black Forest Labs, a new company on the scene, created it. Despite being a small team of just 15 people, 14 of them are former Stability AI employees. It's kind of funny, isn't it? Just 14 people managed to build something better than what Stability AI could achieve on its own. These models are simply phenomenal, arguably the best ever created. You can easily run them either locally on your computer or online for just a few cents per hour. I'm going to walk you through how to do that. Now, there are some potential issues with the models, but I'll save that discussion for the end, since it's still just speculation at this point. For now, let's dive into the installation process. To install this, you have two options. The first method is by using the Maring installer, which is available exclusively to my Patreon supporters. If you're one of them, I've got a bunch of useful files that will be very helpful to you. Now, to run Flux, you'll need to have Comfy UI installed. If you haven't installed Comfy UI yet, you can easily do so using the Flux Comfy UI Manager auto installer. Simply double-click on it, and it will prompt you to choose between the Fast-Low VRAM install or the unoptimized normal model. I'll explain the differences between these options later in the video, but regardless of your situation, I recommend selecting the Fast-Low VRAM install. Again, I'll go into more detail on why this is the best choice later. Once you select that option, press A and then enter. Next, you'll be asked if you want to download the Flux Shell model, a faster version of the Flux model. I highly recommend choosing yes to try it out later, as it's a very cool model. After that, press enter again, and the installer will automatically set up Comfy UI and download the models. You won't have to do anything else. Finally, once the installation is complete, if you have less than 12 GB of VRAM, run the vr.bat file. If you have more than 12 GB, run the normal run NVIDIA GPU.bat file, which will launch Comfy UI and have everything ready to go. It's that simple. To streamline the process, simply load the special workflow and you're set. There's no need to do anything else. If you already have Comfy installed, you can use the flux as model install.bat file. Just drag and drop it into your config UI folder and run the batch file to start the installation. No manual steps required. Alternatively, you can opt for the manual installation method. Installing Comfy is straightforward. Just download and extract the portable standalone build for Windows. For the manual method, download multiple files and be meticulous about placing them in the correct folders, as there are different ways to run the Flux models. First, there's the standard Flux Dev model. Then you have the Flux Shell model, which is a faster version of the standard model that can generate images in only 4 steps, albeit with slightly reduced quality compared to the standard model. Installing and configuring Flux is straightforward. Here's the gist. Download and extract. Get the portable standalone build for Windows from the link provided. Extract it to your desired location. Manual installation. Download multiple files and place them in the correct folders. Be precise, as different Flux models require specific configurations. Flux Dev model, the standard model for general use. Flux Shell model, a faster version of the Dev model, capable of generating images in just 4 steps, though with slightly reduced quality. FP8 models, newly released versions of the Dev and Shell models that are optimized for better performance and require less VRAM. These are highly recommended. If you prefer, you can still use the original models, but the FP8 versions are generally better. Now, start downloading the models by clicking on the appropriate files and versions. Don't forget to download the text encoders as well. By the end, you should have around 6 different files. I decided to download the FP8 versions of the models, so let's start with that. First, I'll select the 2 models and use CTRL to cut them. Then, go to your Configure UI folder, navigate to Models, then Unit, and paste the models there. Next, select the T5X XL and clip L Safe T5 models. Use CTRL to cut them, and then go inside the clip folder within models to paste them. Finally, there's one last file called AESC. Select it, use CTRL, and paste it inside the VAE folder. That's it. Now, you can initiate the configuration. Once everything is imported into the workflow, you're all set to start having some fun. Everything should be pre-selected, so all you need to do is input your prompt, select the resolution for your image, and click Queue Prompt. After a few seconds, you'll get something like this. For me, it takes around 14 seconds to generate an image. However, keep in mind that this image required about 60 GB of RAM because the Flux model, compared to Stable Diffusion 3 or other models, has 12 billion parameters, significantly more than the 2 billion parameters of Stable Diffusion 3. So it uses much more RAM to generate a single picture. To ensure you're generating images with your GPU as quickly as possible, follow these steps. First, if you're using a 3090 or 4090 GPU, you're in luck. These cards have enough VRAM to generate an image in as little as 14 seconds. However, to achieve this speed, you'll need to tweak a setting in your NVIDIA control panel. Open the NVIDIA control panel and navigate to manage 3D settings. Find the CUDA SysM fallback policy setting. Set it to prefer no SysM fallback and click Apply. Now, let me explain what this does. Normally, when an application uses more VRAM than your GPU has available, it offloads some of the work to your system's RAM, which significantly slows down the image generation process. By choosing no SysM fallback, you're ensuring that only your GPU's VRAM is used, allowing for the fastest possible image generation. If you don't have a 3090 or 4090 GPU, definitely avoid activating this option. In fact, if your VRAM is less than 16 GB, you should enable CIS fallback instead. Also, make sure to set the wait type to FP8E4M3FN to avoid longer image generation times. For GPUs with even less VRAM, like 12 or 8 GB, ensure you're using the FP8 version of the model and set the clip name to FP16 to reduce VRAM usage. On the other hand, if you have more than 60 GB of VRAM, opt for the FP8 version to speed up image generation, provided you have enough VRAM to handle the operation. For example, with a 4090 GPU, I use this setup to generate images. I input my prompt and get an image like this in around 15 seconds. It's impressive. Also, there's another model called Flux Shell, a super fast version of Flux. To use it, select Flux Shell FP8, keep the settings default, and reduce the number of steps from 20 to 4. With this setup, you can generate images like this one in about 2 seconds. Still high quality, but incredibly fast. There's a slight dip in quality with this model compared to the previous version, which is understandable given the fewer steps it uses. Despite this, it still produces images that surpass anything we've seen before. For even more efficiency with less VRAM, consider using Flux, which performs exceptionally well at 512x 512 resolution. For instance, this image was generated almost instantaneously, literally in 0 seconds. I barely had time to finish my sentence before the image appeared. It's truly impressive. When I said this is the best model we've encountered, I meant it. It really is unparalleled. If you don't have a high-powered computer or GPU, you can still take advantage of this technology. You can rent a GPU for a few cents an hour on platforms like RunPod and use Comfy UI as if it were running on your local machine. I'll walk you through how to do that. If you haven't done it already, click the link in the description below to create a new account on RunPod. Next, deploy a GPU pod. To save some money, switch from Secure Cloud to Community Cloud. Scroll down until you find a 24 GB VRAM card, such as the RTX 3090 or RTX 5000. Either will work fine. Select your card, then click Change Template. Search for Comfy UI in the template options and choose the one by Ashley Cuzza. Edit the template, increasing the container disk size from 10 GB to 50 GB. Click Set Overrides and then Deploy on Demand. Once deployed, click Connect and access port 8888. Comfy UI should already be installed, so you won't need to set it up again. Now you need to install and place the models in the right folders. If you're one of my picture supporters, I've prepared some special files for you to simplify this process. Go to the Comfy UI folder and drag and drop one of the 3 files I've provided, A, B, or C. File A installs an optimized version of the Flux model for quicker image generation with the available VRAM. File B installs the standard Flux model, which takes about 30 seconds to generate an image. File C Installs Flux Chandel, the super fast model that generates images in roughly 2 seconds, but with slightly reduced quality compared to the standard model. File A is my recommended choice for a balance of speed and quality. To streamline the process, here's a simplified version. Drag and drop. Select the file you need and drag it into the workspace. Terminal commands, open the terminal and paste the 2 command lines from the Patreon post. Press enter to automatically download the models into the correct folders. This may take a bit of time, but no further manual steps are needed. Launch Config UI. Go back and click on port 3000 to launch the Config UI. Load the workflow by selecting the first option. Update Comfy, click on the manager and choose Update Comfy UI. Once you see the update confirmation message, click Close, then Restart. Confirm if prompted to reboot the server. Relaunch port 3000, close the window, ensure you use the right model with the FP8 weight type, specifically the FP8 Safe TS model. Use the model, write your prompt, click Queue Prompt, and in a few seconds you'll see the generated result. For manual setup, download models, right-click the model you want to download and select Copy Link. Navigate to the desired folder, open Terminal, and use the wget command to download the model directly. Refresh in Comfy UI. After downloading, refresh Comfy UI to see the new file in the list. Generate output, use your prompt, click Queue Prompt, and view the results. The model can create impressive images quickly, although it may not be as advanced as the base model. It's excellent for generating various types of content, but it might be less censored compared to others. Training this model could be challenging due to its size, potentially requiring substantial computational power, but currently it's an impressive tool even in its free form. Flux, the best free uncensored AI model out there. Did you know that Flux's open access nature allows it to evolve and adapt faster than its counterparts? It's truly redefining the AI landscape. What do you think will be the next big leap for AI technology? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and hit that subscribe button for more cutting-edge updates.